Oh man, always satisfying. Okay. He was really desperate there at the end. This guy is really weird. He doesn't know when to take risks and when to stay solid. See, at this point, this is just a waste of meter. It's gonna jump here. Still not quite sure about the range. Really? This guy is amazing. Oh, what the fuck am I playing against? Oh man, that was so terrible. Oh my god. Wake up throw. This guy's actually pretty amazing because he does stuff. He specifically does certain tech to blow up my approaches. Not bad at all. Wow, my medium kick had no hitbox. Wow, I could have just DP'd there. Got him. Just died off of that mix-up. Oh man, oh he's nice. I just realized I'm at 8 wins. How am I winning? I'm not even concentrated. Okay, damn, 9 wins. Okay, I never had to deal with this cancel before. I think Capcom is not doing themselves a favor with the way they are approaching this. They're trying to make the game more accessible, right? But how are they achieving that? Or are they actually achieving that? And I want to argue that they haven't achieved that at all in Street Fighter V. If a casual player picks up Street Fighter V, what are their complaints? Their complaints are exactly the same as in every other Street Fighter. So did they even address the problem? They didn't. They didn't. Because they haven't figured out what the problem is. They sacrificed the competition. And when I say they sacrificed the competition, what I actually mean is the viewing experience in particular. Nobody takes Street Fighter seriously anymore because to casual players, Street Fighter V is an easy game, right? And they didn't gain anything off of that. If you're going to make a sacrifice like that, you have to gain something in return, and they didn't. They made links easier, and guess what? Casual players will still complain about not being able to combo in Street Fighter V. Right? Even when turning 1-frame links to 5-frame links, people have the same complaints. And I can tell you one thing. Capcom won't be able to give players a win button. That's not how it works. If you're competing a game that is designed to be 1 versus 1, human versus human, if you have any kind of skill factor to your game, then casual players will always be complaining about it. Because if they don't think, if they don't get better, they will always get the frustrating experience of losing. And they will never be able to address that unless they literally turn it into a coin flip. Like, they would have to eradicate skill entirely to to make casual players feel good about Street Fighter. And obviously this isn't what anyone wants, right? So what's the alternative? The alternative is to not strive to make the core gameplay that is being played at a competition, to sacrifice it for something that people will be complaining about it either way. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. What my suggestion has always been, solve the casual problem the same way that Smash solved it. Smash is the only fighting game that solved the problem. How did Smash solve the problem? You need to have a mode that casuals can enjoy, and it needs to be a separate mode. You can't have both. So make it a separate mode. What is the separate mode in Smash? Well, you play with stage hazards in Smash, you play with items on, casual players can pick up a Pokeball, they throw it, a legendary Pokemon comes out, and they win the game. That's how casuals have fun with fighting games. That's the way to do it. And you need something similar in Street Fighter. Make it a separate mode that casuals actually have fun playing. And the ironic part about this is, the only mode that was accessible on release day was survival mode, which is completely frustrating and made you actually more likely to drop the game instead of having fun for both casuals and competitive players. This was the big disaster of Street Fighter V. There's training mode, casual play, and ranked play already. Casual play is more frustrating for casual players than ranked play. If you're a casual player, don't play casuals. Play ranked if you want to have fun, because then at least you won't meet that many Smurfs. It makes no sense to have casual play. It actually gives the wrong impression. If you're playing casual play, then you're really likely to meet a Smurf. Don't do that to you. If you want to meet someone who's remotely close to your skill level, play ranked. Don't play casuals. It's a nightmare. It's kind of ironic how casuals is a nightmare for casual players. I really think Capcom has no idea what they're doing when it comes to the separate modes. I think there's a severe lack of understanding of what the difference in mentality is, and how to bring everything together into a full package. I feel like there's this big discrepancy what people want, or how to make everyone happy at the same time, and how they're implementing this. I think their approach is completely flawed. No, if you have a great tutorial, that's not good for casual players. It's actually going to make the game less accessible for casual players. That's the ironic part about it. Don't add a tutorial mode. If you add a tutorial mode, you're actually going to make it worse for casuals. Because the casuals won't look at the tutorials. It's only the players who are interested in getting better. So the skill floor will actually be higher as a result. So the average skill will be higher, and therefore you're making it so that someone who's not willing to take a look at training mode or tutorials will have an even harder time enjoying the game. Oh man, you got him salty. Yeah, probably. Casuals loved invincible DPs. They loved using them. Absolutely, exactly, and they removed that in favor of. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Odin Stan. I think Capcom has a really poor, like, they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what casuals are actually asking for. Because, like, removing invincible DPs, they did that because supposedly, because casuals are frustrated. The same way they removed, they made fireballs weaker in Street Fighter V because of how frustrated casuals were. Esterenoso, my man, thank you so much for that tier 1 sub. Very much appreciated. Oh wow, that was just random, okay. Ah, I want to react to that and cancel into DP. I should have... Ah man, I wasn't ready for that, damn. Oily Bear, I tend to agree. If you want to have a good tutorial in your fighting game, then it's not a bad idea. In fact, it's really good because those who are interested in getting better will have an easier time doing that, right? So I agree. We should have good tutorials, and it's honestly frustrating not to see good tutorials. But it's not how you make the game more accessible to casual players. What a casual player wants to do is they want to pick up a game after they go to work. They come home, they're exhausted, they want to pick up a game, they want to press buttons, and they want to have fun doing so without actually using their brains. This is why, and you can see this mentality in the average difficulty of single-player titles. Why are single-player games so easy? It's because the average player is not interested in being challenged. They just want to consume something without putting effort into it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I truly believe this mindset is totally fine. There's not a problem with it. It just doesn't mesh well with the concept of fighting games. It happens to be the exact opposite of what fighting games are about. In a fighting game, the point of playing a fighting game is usually, especially if you're, like, it's a 1 versus 1 competitive environment, human versus human, right? So naturally, it doesn't mesh well with this philosophy.